main thing is that there is a big change in focus going on, with much less of a sense of there being a centrally coordinated endeavour in the field, and a greater sense in which learning providers are going to be left to get on with things. And that is, it's a sea change in the sense that for the past 10 to 12 years there's been a lot of central stuff going on, and lots of people in our community have been sort of oriented towards the central stuff, whereas they're now going to need to be oriented to what's going on in their own institution, to the exclusion of much else. And that's why our 2011 conference, which we've just launched, is going to focus very much on that. And alongside that change of focus, the financial climate will be much worse in much of the public sector. And that's going to mean that learning technology people are going to need to show how their contribution can help organisations meet their objectives. I think that the withdrawal of the state from this field to a certain extent will leave organisations and individuals in the field more to their own devices, and that could be beneficial in some ways. But I think that it happening at a time of very big cuts in public spending will mean that it's not at all plain sailing. Clearly, a membership organisation like ours will seek to help our member organisations and member individuals kind of deal with the climate, and we'll be trying to act as glue to join them together. But I'm not, although I'm a natural optimist, I'm not naive about how difficult things are going to be. One of the issues in our field is that most things are best done on a large scale, and sort of aggregating know-how and need and trying to meet need on a shared basis is likely to be beneficial. But at the same time, the organisations that might work that way are in competition with each other at some level. So there's kind of complex issues of competition and cooperation, and how that plays out isn't something you can just predict very easily. I think that learning providers need to adjust their activity to take account of the fact that they are not the conduit for know-how in the way that they used to be. They're one of the conduits for know-how, and there are loads of others, social media being a kind of key conduit for know-how, and it's not wise to not adjust what you do to take account of that fact. I remember a talk I heard maybe 4 years ago in Northern Ireland by a guy working for Microsoft, who gave this illustration that Microsoft used to insist that its new starters used Microsoft tools for their collaboration, and then quickly realised that when they appointed somebody, they came with their own social network of peers who were of enormous value to Microsoft if they allowed their employee to carry on networking with them, and they dropped the insistence that you had to switch to a Microsoft environment. I think that's kind of proof, really, that in many contexts it's the network of social contacts that you have, and the blurring between work and social that's gone on. It just means that all organisations need to kind of allow for employees to be connected to a load of people who are nothing to do with the organisation, and then that's to their benefit if they do that.